Hi, and welcome back to the Blue Screen Actor. My name is Heidi, and I'm here to help. So in today's episode, we're going to talk about recognizing your yeses and what that means. So stay tuned. So what does it mean to recognize your yes? Well, let me tell you. The first yes you're going to get in acting, because in this industry, we know there's a lot of no's. There's a lot of times where you just don't hear back. You just don't hear anything. It's like you're submitting into a void and no one gets back to you. But there's ways to reframe that to make it a positive thing, as opposed to looking at it and going, I just submitted 15 videos or 50 videos and I've heard nothing. So what do? First thing I do is when I submit any type of self-tape, I record it. I look at that submission as being my first yes, because the casting director looked at my initial headshot, which had been sent up from my agent, along with my resume, possibly a tape, and that person decided to reach out to me and say, hey, out of the 1,500 to 2,000 submissions I've received, I want you to do a tape. That's yes number one. So what is yes number two? Yes number two is when you get feedback from the client and they actually ask you to come in, whether it's for an audition or a callback, but it's in person. And it could be over Zoom, or it could mean that you have to travel 350 kilometers, sometimes 400 kilometers like I do, for a 10-minute meeting. But again, it's another yes, because you're doing something right. If after you've done your self-tape, they've looked at it and said, hey, we've now funneled that down, and now you're one of those people. So again, that's another yes. After you've done the audition, when they reach out to you for whether it's an avail check, a hold check, just anything to say that we've got you on a radar or we're considering you for this project, and they haven't quite made decisions yet. So now you've been narrowed down from all the people who auditioned to now being one of those people who possibly can book that job. So that's another yes, which means you got the job. So you are the person that was chosen. That is a huge yes. But then there can also be those spin-offs where maybe you don't get the job, but you get feedback from the client in terms of how you did, or even from your agent in terms of how you could be better, things like that. But then what I also look at is another thing. It's kind of a secret yes. So I'm going to just tell you about that in 1 second. What I consider the secret yes is when that same casting house reaches out to you again for another role, for another self-tape. I track all of this so I can tell if I have a new person looking at me or if it's someone where I've been to them maybe 5 or 6 times, and then I'm saying to myself, you know what? My odds now are pretty good because they know who I am, they've seen me, I understand them, and I take that as a huge win. So look at your yeses, understand how you're doing in the industry, and let's be successful together.